My top 10 films of 2024 are... In at number 10, I do have a t-shirt, but can't find it. I do have an action figure, but can't find it. Is Godzilla Kong X. So these kind of films, they're not going to win awards. It's just fun, you know? We just want to see the fighting. There was a lot less human stuff going on because I don't care about that. Kong got some like big transformer mechanical arm. He got like a new tooth. There were way more monsters in it. The big moth, forgotten his name. Is it Mothma or something? No, is that Thunderbirds? Thundercats? Oh my god. Tangents, sorry. But yes, I just really enjoyed it. It's just it was a fun, stupid, get a war on type film. You could just sit there. You didn't have to think about anything. A lot of fun. Number 9 is If. It feels like ages ago since I actually saw this. So this is Bluey, who isn't blue. And it was about like imaginary characters that kids forget about as they get older. Ryan Reynolds was in it, kind of being a bit more serious. The girl from The Walking Dead who played Judith, I can't remember her name, sorry. She was really good. I actually cried in it. I just thought it got me in the feels, and I just really enjoyed it. I know a lot of people didn't, but I just thought it was like lovely. I know that sounds a bit sad and a bit wussy, but it really was. And I don't have an If t-shirt, but you know, the If toy is enough. In at number 8, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. I am a massive Ghostbusters fan, so I kind of feel sad that this isn't higher up in my list. But after further viewings, it did feel too crowded. There were too many characters. Like, it's always good to have that nostalgia. I like that. I like bringing back old characters. It makes it feel more, you know, genuine and in the zone of the franchise, if that makes sense. But Bill Murray, I felt like he didn't want to be there. I felt like he didn't really give much. But then like Dan Aykroyd's character, that was really good and that felt warranted. But then there were just too many other characters that weren't really doing much and didn't need to be there. But like Phoebe, played by, is it Grace Moretz? Is it Grace Moretz? I should remember that. But Phoebe, she was still a great character. There were some people who didn't like her subplot, but I really enjoyed it, and it was just fun to see Ghostbusters on the screen again. I really do hope we get another one, but I think if it had just been less characters and a bit more focus on the newer ones. Oh, and the mum was awful. Like, you know, that's not me attacking the actress. I hate it when people do that. I just mean the character was just awful. She was just so badly written, and she could have just been out. You know, she did not, I don't know, I just didn't feel like she deserved Ghostbuster status, but Phoebe did, because she's such like a mini Egon, and I love Egon. He's one of my favourite Ghostbuster characters anyway. So I loved her, but then just some of the others just felt meh, you know. Number 7, again, I don't have a t-shirt for it, but I do have an action figure, is Despicable Me 4. I've always loved the Minions ever since the first one came out, which I think was 2010, which is just mad that the franchises, I never would have thought that a franchise like Despicable Me would be still here now. I don't know, I just love them. I just really enjoy them. And they had like superhero variants of like 4 Minions, which made it really fun. It was quite Marvel-esque. There was a cool villain in it. And, you know, it could be the last one, because at the end it kind of felt like it could be. I know there's a Minions 3 coming out, but I just enjoy them. You know, it's just silly, good fun. I always sit there entertained. So yeah. In at number 6 is Beetlejuice. I just thought this was a great legacy sequel. So I think some people get annoyed at legacy sequels, but I think personally this is one that was done right. Michael Keaton, amazing as ever. Like, if you look at his back catalogue, it's just insane. The range that actor has, I just love him, but that's for another time. General Taker, I thought fit really well into the whole narrative. Catherine O'Hara was just so good, although she was a little bit Moira, but that's fine. Winona Ryder, brilliant. And I really enjoyed the story. I like the fact that they didn't rely heavily on CGI. Bob, oh my God, I love Bob. There's still not like a decent enough toy, and I want one. I just loved the story, just loved all the throwbacks and everything, and I just thought it was really well done. And I heard some people just not liking it and saying it was just really rubbish compared to the first one, and I just loved it. Like, it really just took over for me, and I loved loving it, if that makes sense. So top 5 time, this was kind of where it got harder for me, because I kept rearranging them and putting ones higher and putting ones down and stuff, but I think I'm sure now. So number 5 is Wicked Part 1. I'd not seen the musical. The only things I really knew were the popular song and Defying Gravity, but I think you'd have to be living under a rock not to know those, especially Defying Gravity. But as soon as I was in the cinema, I was just enamoured by all of it, and like proper in the story. I thought Ariana Grande was amazing. I thought Cynthia Evero? Sorry if I've said that wrong. She was amazing as well. I just loved I loved all of it, and there was so much, like, you could relate to Elphaba so much. And Ariana Grande was really funny. I liked a lot of the musical numbers that I hadn't heard before, and normally I'm not a massive musical fan, but I really wanted to watch this in the theatre now. And it was just lots of fun. And the monkeys, the CGI on the monkeys was so good. Like, loved them, but there's not a proper action figure. Come on, Mattel. Jonathan Bailey, he was really good as Fiero. Honourable, even like Ian Malcolm. It's not Ian Malcolm. Is it Ian Malcolm? I'm going off on a tangent. It is Ian. No, it's not Ian Malcolm. Jeff Goldblum, sorry. I'm thinking of Jurassic Park. Even Jeff Goldblum was really good, because sometimes I find him a little bit one note, but I just loved it. Just afterwards, I was like, yay, Wicked. I'm a big Wicked fan now. Need all the dolls, obviously. Number 4 is Wild Robot, and this is all I have. This was like a freebie that came with the cinema. And at first, not gonna lie, I was not bothered by this. I just kind of thought, oh, it's just not gonna be that good. Straight away, animation, just breathtaking. It was just a beautiful film. Like, I really got emotional with it. Pedro Pascal, I think there was like a couple of lines he said, and I was like, ooh! It just proper got me. I was tearing up. I just thought the story was just, I don't know, I think you could just really learn something from it. Just about taking care of other people, the importance of family that you make for yourself as well. Really looking forward to the next one, because they are doing another one. I think it's won loads of awards as well, and rightly so. And I need to read the books too. But yeah, such a lovely film, like, really highly recommended. So this is where it's tricky. So in at 3 was Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I didn't actually mean to do that. But I just loved it. Shadow, voiced by Keanu Reeves, brilliant casting. He just brought this like brooding energy, brilliant. Knuckles, I felt, wasn't in it as much, but then he did have a TV series on Paramount, so that's okay. Sonic and Tails, just love them anyway. The fact Jim Carrey, we thought he wasn't going to be in it, and then he was in it twice because he was Robotnik and Gerald, Robotnik's grandfather. Brilliant. Shadow's backstory, the fact there wasn't as much human-y stuff going on and it was more action. The CGI was better, fight scenes were better, and I just feel like they upped the ante on the Sonic films, which is what I love. And it's kind of like a mini Fast and Furious / Marvel for kids, and I need more of it. And didn't it smash Mufasa at the box office, which it should have done, because don't even get me started on the live action Lion King with their just like emotionless faces. But I just love Sonic, so good. So in at number 2 is Deadpool and Wolverine. Again, this was hard for me because I had it at number 1, but then it dropped down, and then I was like thinking about it again, and I was like, no, it has to be no, and I just couldn't make it up. I couldn't get there, but I finally decided on it being number 2. I was worried for it when Disney took over, because I just thought, they're going to take all the kind of dark humour out of it. Ryan Reynolds isn't going to kind of be able to do what he wants to do with Deadpool, and I'll always be thankful to him for actually bringing us a Deadpool that is what we all wanted, because the first version he did was awful, but it wasn't his fault. And then when the Deadpool solo film came around, I was like, yes. So Ryan Reynolds was just great. I thought Hugh Jackman was amazing, probably some of his best acting, because he was just really gritty and like really got into it. All the cameos made me gasp. And it was just fun, and there was great action scenes, and there were bits that I've seen many times, but I still just laugh out loud to it because I just think they're so well delivered by Ryan Reynolds. And I'm just so thankful to him for having this. And it was just, I loved it. Like, I was so happy to see it at midnight, so I didn't get any of the cameos spoiled for me. And, you know, sometimes you don't want to go at midnight, but I just had to. But I just loved it. It was so much fun. So it comes as no surprise, Inside Out 2 is my number one. I don't know where to begin with it. So I loved Inside Out anyway. Like, that was always one of my favourite Pixars, apart from Toy Story. But it just blew me away. Like, it was so well done, and it wasn't like a cash grab sequel. They put effort into it. And this one, Anxiety, played by Maya Hawke, who was just brilliant, who I love in Stranger Things anyway, but this, she was just so good. Like, someone who suffers from anxiety anyway, it was so relatable. Like, it just really got me in regards to that. Because, like, say if I'd been a kid and I'd had this film, it would have just made a lot of sense, you know? Because it just kind of, I think back when I was a kid, a lot of stuff just wasn't talked about, you know? And I just think if there was a kid who was suffering from anxiety like I had been when I was a kid, and they saw this emotion and they were like, Mum, Dad, or whoever, I can relate to that. Like, like how powerful that is, honestly. And just, the story was just beautiful. How all the characters interacted, it was funny, the animation was great, and it was just so good. And you can just see why it was the highest grossing film, because it was just amazing. Like, I could probably go on for like 20 minutes telling you how good it is, because it is. It's just, I just loved it so much. Like, and I think mainly because of Anxiety just being so well done. Like, it wasn't patronizing, it wasn't, you know, there was just so much, a film about feeling, having so much feeling, you know? God, I feel like Jerry Springer. So, some honourable mentions. They didn't quite get there, but were good. Alien Romulus, there was a lot of tense moments in it. I liked the characters. It was fun. It was very much in the world of Alien, which I felt haven't been with some other Alien films. They're doing a sequel, which is good, but it lost points just due to kind of, I don't know, the ending. And then there was a line of dialogue that should only be said by the amazing Sigourney Weaver, and just not, you know, that, sorry. It ends with us. That made me cry, and I feel like, I don't know if I could watch it again, because it kind of, some of the themes and stuff, it got me proper upset, and so that was good because it did that, but then at the same time, I kind of feel like I couldn't watch it again, but I think that's more on like a personal level, you know. Transformers 1, amazing animation. I do love Transformers. I'm not like a mega super fan or anything. I've seen all the Michael Bay ones. Some are good, some are... but this, I think it put Transformers back on the map, but like hardly anyone saw it, and it just didn't make any money, which is a shame. Moana 2, not one of my favourite Disney princesses, but it was good, and I actually preferred it to the first one. I think that's all my honourable mentions. I try not to be negative, but the worst film that I've seen this year was a toss-up between Craven, because of awful dialogue, and Joker. I think it had to be Joker because I was really just waiting for it to end. I just found the musical numbers boring when, you know, when you've kind of taken such a great film as the first Joker and then said to the audience, right, we're going to have it as a musical. You need to go in hard with the musical numbers. And they just fell flat. When I came out the cinema, I couldn't remember any of them. I couldn't have hummed any of them to you. If I had a gun to my head, I just would not be able to remember. And I think it was such a missed opportunity. People are blaming Lady Gaga. It wasn't Lady Gaga's fault. It just, you know, Joaquin Phoenix didn't even seem bothered when he was doing the film. I don't know, it just felt so flat. I remember, and I don't normally do this, I got my phone out. I was at the back, so no one could see or anything. But I got my phone out and I was booking future film visits because I just was like, this is killing cinema for me, and I didn't want it to. So, it was just so bad. But for 2025, very much looking forward to Superman, Final Destination, because I'm so glad that's back in the cinema. Megan 2.0, Captain America, Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, Wicked Part 2. So there's a lot of good stuff coming, which is great. I don't think it's like the most exciting year for cinema. I think 2026, because there's Toy Story, there's a Star Wars film again, finally. But let me know what you're looking forward to. Let me know if you disagree on my thoughts. You know, it's all good. It's just opinions, so let me know.